very, very good evening to you and welcome to a special pre-election show, Election 2014. My name is Ayana Mhlogo and we're coming to you live from Auckland Park in Johannesburg with the latest news about the upcoming elections and all election issues. Later on in the program, we'll be crossing live to our reporters Kgaogelo Mogolego in Malamulele in Limpopo, as well as Ayana Mhlogo. She is in Chatsworth in kwaZulu-Natal. So those are the two areas. They're very troubled communities, and we're going to be discussing exactly how things are in the run-up to the elections there. But as usual, let's start off this evening's program with a look at today's election campaign stories. Dissident veterans of the ANC are urging voters to spoil their ballots or vote for smaller parties in these upcoming elections. They say they are doing this for the love of their country.
Former Intelligence Minister Ronnie Casuals and ex-Deputy Health Minister Nozizwe Matlala-Routledge say their Sidikwe Vukani campaign, which means "We're fed up, wake up," is an appeal to the ruling party. The campaigners say spoiling a vote is a valid way of exercising a democratic right.
We're not claiming we are the great leaders and people who will save this country. We are ordinary citizens now. We want to be part of a debate. We want to open a debate. And finally to say that as we began to discuss with ourselves, as people from within the liberation movement and others said to us, "You veterans, why are you so quiet? Why are you not speaking up?" We had to pay heed to that. We had to listen.
But Nelson Mandela's longtime friend George Bizos says spoiling votes or choosing not to vote defeats what Madiba fought for.
I do not think that it's the right thing to do. They should exercise their right to vote. They must choose for themselves, after considerable thought, what party they want to vote for. Spoiling the voting paper is undemocratic.
Party leaders were out on the campaign trail again today. At Pinar in rural Mpumalanga, ANC Secretary General Gwede Mantashe conducted door-to-door visits to meet voters. He visited the Tentele Disability Centre and then went on the charm offensive. Mantashe called on the residents to vote for the ANC to enable the party to continue its programs to improve people's lives.
In 1994, 9 million South Africans were working. Today, 14 million South Africans are working. We should look into two things, population growth and look into immigration policy of the country. If we can deal with those two things, we'll actually dent the unemployment so that you don't allow South Africans not to take dirty, dangerous and difficult jobs and allow those jobs to be taken by foreign workers.
Mantashe also took a swipe at Casual's Sidikwe Vukani Vote No campaign. In Cape Town, the Freedom Front Plus launched its manifesto and said it wanted the Western Cape to be autonomous. The party said the province should not be an extension of the central government.
The fact that the Western Cape has the potential to be the jewel in the crown should not be forgotten, or it should not be made impossible to do exactly that. Where we've moved in and around in the Western Cape and around with the people, there's a very, very strong feeling for more autonomy for this province. People do not want to be prescribed from the Thule House or from the union buildings. They want to do their thing. They're not talking about separation or breaking away from South Africa.
In Durban, the EFF staged a protest outside the City Hall. It wants the municipality to stop alleged corruption in the provision of RDP houses, a total ban of labour brokering, and a minimum wage for security guards.
In this province, KZN, there are people who've been staying in transit camps for more than 10 years. We are saying it is crime against humanity.
The municipality says it will look into the grievances. COPE Deputy President Willie Madisha, accompanied by Dennis Blum, took his party's election campaign to Hazyview. He urged voters to vote for change. Water and road infrastructure were some of the challenges faced by the residents.
Our people are living in very hard conditions. There is no water, terrible roads, People cannot even go to the graveyards. They've got to struggle even before they can do that. More than 70% of the youth here are not working. They live literally in the shebeens and the bottle stores, and that's a major problem. It basically comes to the position that the government of today has failed, and as a result of that, what we need is a change, and change yesterday.
Now, please remember, you can take part in tonight's show. Send us your emails to elections@sabc.co.za or your SMSs to 33726. Just remember to begin your SMS with the word vote. It'll cost you R1.50. For the tweeters out there, use the hashtag SABC elections, or you can find us on Facebook at SABC News Online. Now, the town of Malamulele in Limpopo falls under the Thulamela municipality. For years, residents have called on government to establish a separate municipality for Malamulele. They say they're neglected by the current municipality, which they allege favors the Thohoyandou area.
More than a decade of protests calling for an independent municipality. Residents of Malamulele want a separate municipality from Thulamela. They appointed a task team made up of business people, community leaders, academics and activists to fight their cause. Many meetings were held with local and senior government officials in an attempt to resolve the matter, but without any success. Residents wanted answers and felt negotiations were at a standstill. In September last year, thousands of residents gathered at the local stadium for a feedback meeting. Here they heard government was reluctant and not ready to meet their demand for an independent municipality. The crowd was angry and went on a rampage. Protesting residents burnt government offices and looted shops. Scores of residents were arrested and appeared in the local magistrate's court. Premier Sten Matabata intervened, and an urgent meeting was called with the demarcation board to address the matter. But deliberations failed, and residents took to the streets again. All roads leading to Malamulele were barricaded with burning tires. The situation got out of hand, and public order police from all corners of the province were called in. Schooling was affected too, and the protest stopped just a week before matric exams started in October. Residents vowed to boycott next month's elections, and the IEC recorded a poor turnout during the voter registration weekend in Malamulele. Residents say they want President Jacob Zuma to intervene.
Well, it's at this opportunity that the residents of Malamulele have the chance to take their grievances to the ballot boxes. Let's cross live to our reporter, Kgaogelo Mogolego in Malamulele. Kgaogelo, very good evening to you. With the elections barely 3 weeks away, what is the mood like in Malamulele?
Good evening, Liana, and thank you very much for having me. Well, Malamulele is a town that sits in the far north of Limpopo, next to the Punda Maria Garden, border gate that leads you to Mozambique. It's a small town of one street comprising also of some 73 villages as well as 3 sprawling townships with a population of a little over 500,000. Well, their protests are well recorded. They've been out in the streets demanding to have their own municipality. Currently, as we speak, the Malamulele area falls within the Thulamela municipality, which is in Vembe. The residents have placed their arguments pointing out to issues of service delivery, that the Thulamela municipality is weak and that is too big to take care of everybody that is within the municipality. Tonight here we've got our guest, who's also a representative of the community. Is the Deputy Secretary of the Malamulele Demarcation Task Team, Mr. Isaac Nugere, who's going to be outlining to us the rest of their demands, particularly ahead of President Jacob Zuma's campaign visit here tomorrow in the afternoon. Mr. Nugere, good evening to you and thank you for joining us. Good evening, Mr. Nyukere, and thank you for joining us. What are you expecting to come out of the president's visit tomorrow?
Kgaogelo, good evening and good evening to your viewers. Tomorrow, Kgaogelo, we are receiving the President of the Republic. And then, as a task team, Kgaogelo, we are receiving this news with the mixed feelings. Mixed feelings in that it's long that we have been requesting the President to come down here at Malamulele. We indicated previously that we entered all the doors of this republic. It was only the door of the President that we did not enter. And then our issue is very clear. We indicated very clear that Thulamela municipality does not assist us in any way. We demand our own municipality and nothing else.
What if, Mr. Nyukere, the president comes here and in the normal nature of campaigns addresses you on the ANC manifesto and call on you to go out and vote on election day?
There is a chronology of events, Kgaogelo. We have followed up all the channels of communications that government has had. And then we have even wanted to meet with the president. But unfortunately, the times of elections were not on our side. We know it very well that the president is all out in his office to campaign for the ANC, but particularly when he comes to Malamulele, he knows our problems very well. So we know that he has got an answer for the people of Malamulele.
We've unfortunately ran out of time there. That was Mr. Isaac Nyukere, a community leader here, detailing their demands ahead of the president's visit. Just to indicate that even during voter registration, residents of Malamulele, in line with their decision, have stayed away from the registration points. Very few of them registered. Very few of them have registered to vote, so we are waiting to see how they will react to the president's address tomorrow. Back to the studio.
All right, Kgaogelo, thank you very, very much for talking to us and giving us an update from that area. Kgaogelo Mogolego is reporting live from the troubled town of Malamulele. Now that's in the Limpopo province. Kgaogelo giving us the exact location as to where that is. We're going to be crossing to another troubled area here in South Africa. Our reporter Ayana Mhlogo is there. That's Chatsworth in KwaZulu-Natal. Thank you very much for your emails, your tweets, your Facebook messages. Let's take a look at a couple of them right now. And we'll put them up on screen. Give Malamulele what they want. Simple as that. That's from Edwin writing into us. All right, Edwin, thank you very much for writing into us. Raymond Culture saying, how can they vote without a municipality? These people have been crying for a long time, but there's no changes. Right, again, that's on our Facebook page. Willie Baloyi is saying, we won't vote. No one even bothered to register. That's not a good picture. That certainly isn't a good picture when one looks at the elections around the corner, no one's registered. Perhaps you're referring to that part of the country in Limpopo, but that's a very unfortunate situation. All right, let's take a break. When we return, as I say, Chatsworth under the spotlight, another area that needs a lot of attention.
Nowadays, for most of us, a sneeze is not just a sneeze. It could mean flu. Or
it could be swine flu.
Because germs are getting stronger. So what will protect us? Lifebuoy Clinicare 10 with active natural shield. 10 times better germ protection. So when you're protected, all you'll say is...
Bless you.
Lifebuoy Clinicare 10.
Need extra protection for your car? Budget Insurance offers you even more value at low premiums with tire and rim guard and scratch and dent cover. SMS PROTECT to 43374. Budget Insurance, the easy way to save.
Oh, happy vele ufake irama encane kupapa lakho ukuze lithambe libe bushelezi futhi liyehle isiphundu. vele ufake irama encane kwipapa lakho kuze ipapa lakho libe mnandi.
Hey, I'll trade you my skateboard for that Fanta.
Oh yeah? I'll trade you this robot dog, model K900.
Whoa! Out of the way, hombres! The van for the bottle.
Yes. Here, boy. And thanks.
Hi ladies, are you ready for the Almost Stain Challenge? Come and show me how fast you can get these tough oil stains out. Choose your pack.
I'll take Omo.
I'll try the other one.
No scrubbing. In 1 minute, new Omo removes tough stains faster.
Welcome back. You're watching this special pre-election show, Elections 2014. Well, it's off to KwaZulu-Natal we go now. Chatsworth in Durban is preparing for a hotly contested election. Just yesterday, the National Freedom Party welcomed more than 400 new members from the greater Durban area, including Chatsworth. Now, let's cross live to our reporter in Chatsworth, Ayana Mhlogo, and she'll be looking at some of the challenges that the community is facing. A very good evening to you, Ayanda.
A very good evening to you, Leanne, and we're coming to you live from the Chatsworth Youth Centre. Now, many people will remember that tragic incident in the year 2000 when 13 teenagers died and 100 were injured during a stampede at a nightclub that was the Throb nightclub. 2 years later, in 2000, the late former President Nelson Mandela opened this centre here, the Chatsworth Youth Centre, which had been built by the Nelson Mandela Foundation as a safe haven for youth to keep them away from the streets. Now, one of the major problems facing the residents or the people of Chatsworth has been drug abuse. They've been grappling with the issue of drug abuse, especially amongst its youth. Now, joining me now to discuss some of the programs that are taking place here at the Youth Centre and how the residents here of Chatsworth are trying to fight this scourge, I'm joined by Sam Pillay, the director of the Anti-Drug Forum. Sam, a very good evening to you, and thank you very much for joining us.
Good evening.
How has this centre addressed the issue of drug abuse that has been ravaging the community of Chatsworth?
Well, we established the Anti-Drug Forum to deal with this problem specifically. And at the Anti-Drug Forum, we realized that it is impossible to get rid of drug dealing. So we are focusing a lot of attention on education awareness. And we found a really brilliant program. We're calling it a SMART program, where the learners in schools set up a SMART club. And there, on an ongoing basis, they do things in their schools with the peers, like writing plays with strong messages, writing songs, dance, and other activities as well, include sports as well. And they're having a lot of fun doing this. The other thing that we are doing is having a placard demonstration on an annual basis, where every learner, every member of the SMART Club will have his own placard and display it outside his own school. Last year we had 40 schools participate. It was a brilliant experience for every learner to be participating, holding his placard out and screaming, "Don't do drugs." And he's growing up with this idea on an ongoing basis. So when he is confronted with a problem, he will know that it is not for him.
I know our cameras obviously cannot see, but behind us there are some youth. I think they're warming up to be involved in boxing. Particularly here, and they seem to be, I think, beyond the school-going age. But for the senior youth, what are some of the other programs that are being done here at the centre?
Yeah, like you see, the guys are busy with the boxing. They're getting ready for the tournament, by the way. We have heavyweights here as well. They have wrestling as well as a wrestling ring here. There's karate, there's dancing classes. So there are many activities, table tennis as well for the youth, as well as the older guys as well.
Just before we spoke earlier on, Sam, we were talking about some of the challenges that you are facing, and also which organizations are working together with you to try and assist the forum.
Well, fortunately in Chatsworth, we are very well organized. We have a series of organizations, NGOs, NPOs, and we have an integrated forum that works together. So we have the child welfare, we have the ABH, we have the government departments as well, like the Department of Social Development, Department of Health, our local hospital as well, Arkikan Hospital. Everybody's working together to deal with this problem. But we have challenges, There are too few beds for the number of people that are seeking assistance. And we hope also that they can speed the process, with a proper detox. Because right now, I think we need to be looking at that again, the detox methodology and so on.
Well, Sam, thank you very much for your time. That was Sam Pillay, the director of the Anti-Drug Forum here in Chatsworth. While drugs, Leanne, may be a major problem, but you can hear and you've heard from Sam on some of the initiatives and the programs that they are doing. And I must say, having spoken to some of the youth, they are seemingly being quite successful at that. And that's all we have time for here in Durban at the Chatsworth Centre. And Leanne, I take things back to you in the studio.
Ayana, thank you very, very much. Well, drugs, unfortunately, a nationwide problem, but it's good to see that the Chatsworth community getting behind their youth and trying to help the situation. Ayana Mhlogo reporting live from Chatsworth in KZN. All right, let's take a look at a couple more tweets that we've got coming in this morning. Lots and lots of tweets. This is from Kolani saying, instead of spoiled ballot papers, voters must vote for other political parties. That's what they're saying. Now, you remember, let's just remind you that we've got some of the elders, the ANC elders, saying that you would rather spoil your vote or vote for smaller parties as opposed to voting for the ANC. That's what they're saying. Ronnie Casserols, one of the big voices there, Siyabonga, saying CDE, Ronnie Casserols is misleading the country to say vote to spoil campaign. Why he can't form his own party. That's one of them. All right, Mpo. By not voting, we are not solving our problems because the party you are fighting against will remain in power. That's according to Mpo. And Spungubani is saying this is a democratic country, meaning people in South Africa should exercise their rights. On the 7th of May, we must go and vote. All right, thanks very much, Spoo. Thanks very much to everybody else that's written into us here on the programme. Well, a large number of smaller parties are contesting this year's elections, and after the break, the spokesperson of the Workers' and Socialist Party is going to tell us in just 1 minute why voters should vote for them. Stay tuned.
Here at the Debonair's Pizza Amazon Kitchen, we have
a fantastic deal for real.
For real.
Try this filling chicken and sweet bell pepper with this delicious ham and cheese real deal pizza, both loaded with cheese and quality ingredients. A real deal for only $19.90 each.
That's amazing.
No, it's amazing.
Debonair's Pizza. Try something amazing.
9:30 Cape Town now.
I'm sorry, sir. That flight is
That
closed.
is a business class ticket.
Yes, sir. We could arrange a
Do
later
you know
flight.
who I am?
Joko is masterfully blended with the finest leaves to give you a rich, strong, full-flavored taste.
I didn't realize.
Yeah.
Your attention, please. There's a gentleman here who doesn't know who he is. If anyone is able to assist him, please report to the information desk urgently.
Joko, strong enough to give you a lift when you need it.
It's so 13. Are you ready for Kumba Kumba savings? Then come to Cambridge Food for the Easter Carnival and get loads of Kumba Kumba value.
2 kg Salati brown sugar, $16.95. 250 grand Ray coffee, $23.95. Restore Plus regular and super relaxer cream, $17.95. Dial this code now and stand a chance to win 5 rand airtime.
Save money, live better. Cambridge Food.
How are you?
Good.
Hey, Dad. Hey, buddy. Guess we'll have back by 6.
Great.
What should we do today? I don't know.
You said sometimes I wish the sun
You hungry?
didn't come out.
Can we have the family treat, please?
Just a good day.
So, you hungry?
Just a good day.
If you've just joined us, you're watching Elections 2014, a special pre-election show in the run-up to the elections on the 7th of May. Well, it's time now for our regular 1-minute slot in which leaders of the various political parties contesting the elections get a chance to convince you, the voter, to cast your vote for him or her. It is the chance for the Workers' and Socialist Party spokesperson, Malamulele Sebai. Take a look.
Workers' and Socialist Party will be standing in this election as the only political alternative for the working class and the poor people. It will be standing as a voice of protest in communities fighting for service delivery protest, young people fighting for jobs and a free, decent public education from nursery to universities, and of course of the workers fighting for decent wages. We are the only party that is campaigning on the basis of the ideas, perspectives and a program of socialism. The idea that through a nationalization of the commanding heights of the economy, the basic industry, the farms, the mining, the farms, the factories, we can be able to harness a tremendous wealth of this country through a public ownership and planning of the economy to meet the needs for housing, for free education, for quality health, and all the demands of the working class and poor people in this country.
Right, that was the Workers' and Socialist Party spokesperson, Malamulele Sebai, appealing to voters to support his party in the upcoming elections. Well, it's almost time to say goodbye, but we got time for just one or two more tweets. Let's take a look at the messages that are coming through. Santosh Pillay, spoiling your vote misses the point of an election, which is to elect. Holding leaders to account, etc., is a different task. So there you have it. That's pretty much so in a nutshell what everyone has to say this evening. And that's all we've got time for in tonight's show. We will be back with more election news tomorrow evening. Until then, have a wonderful evening and bye-bye from all of us.